Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is a brand new movie review. Actually, this the third one I've done on my channel. I did Black Widow and the Suicide Squad. If you want to check those out, make sure to click the card up there to watch both of them in the movie or the TV and movie review playlist. But today's movie review is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And I'm going to be reviewing it today, talking about all the notes I took down of the movie. So, without further ado, let's discuss. Alright, so first and foremost, the first thing I always do with these reviews is I talk about the soundtrack, but I do have a bunch of notes here in my handy dandy notebook that I do take stuff down on. Now, throughout this review, I've had like a headache through most of the day, but I don't want to keep that from making this review because I wanted to get this review out sooner rather than later, but I'm still going to talk about my thoughts. My head just hurts a little bit more than average, but I didn't feel well this morning. I had some oatmeal and it did not go well. But anyway, so the first thing I talk about is the soundtrack with the film, and the score was done by Joel P. West, and they had a few other cover songs in it, not songs that were original in this, but in general, the score that he did, Joel P. West did, was great. From the from the actual Asian, like, what's that word? Oh my gosh, I can't even think. Like the background cultural music incorporated with like Marvel fight scene soundtrack score. It was great. All of it just worked in this movie. And I'll talk about the different fight scenes here later. But I loved all of it, as the score was just great, from the, Shang-Chi part to like the different battles. So all of that is nice. I just love the way that he translated each fight scene and like theme, like the parents' theme as well. So moving right along, I think let me just go ahead to my notes here. The first part, like when the parents are fighting, I love the way, like I've seen watch like a breakdown in the movie, and I actually love how like the fight scenes are choreographed. I'm going to talk about that throughout this review. But I love how the parents fighting mimics the Matrix fight choreography. If you don't know, if you could actually like sync up the two and see like Neo fighting whatever his name is, Morpheus, and then sync up Wen Wu fighting Tai Lu, or whatever the mom's name is, fighting the mom, you can see the parallel between like him jumping over and going on top of each other, and then the rings, like when the rings are shooting out of his fist, mimicking the bullets that they shoot in the Matrix film. So I thought that was neat as well. Just all of it kind of, because I watched the Matrix movies this summer, because all of it I love, and I think it makes this film so captivating, in particular because no Marvel movies have been shot this way. For like the movie to be shot in this way, to be choreographed in a way, have been different from all the other Marvel movies. The only one that I will say right now that has been most like this was Black Panther, because they did a lot of their own stunts, choreographed things, but I don't think that they like reference or like made similar from any other martial arts movie. This movie did a lot of that, like the Matrix, and also the bus fight in particular, which is another one of my notes here, was kind of influenced by Jackie Chan moves. As you see, Shang-Chi, the first like actual battle with Shang-Chi in the bus scene, which I thought was one of my favorite parts of the movie, fight scenes of the movie. Maybe that's biased, but we'll see. I think it was definitely one of my favorites, with the first scene of Razor Fist, Shang-Chi just breaks out all his moves and like blocks effects, block moves, and takes his jacket and incorporates that like Jackie Chan style moves. So I think all of that just made it very special to the movie, and like to me, because by the way, I do want to mention, take a brief side note. to mention how I've taken martial arts for 10 years. I almost said 10 movies, 10 years, and I took Taekwondo, and I'm a second-degree black belt. So this film was was very hyped for this movie, to see the martial arts, to see the choreography, and you know, as I said, Matrix mixed with Jackie Chan moves, all of this, it just made it even better, in a sense, on a grading scale for Marvel. Just a different style, different tone, and I love when Marvel does it. Also, Katie, or the guy who talked about, who was filming the Razor Fist fight on the bus, was from Spider-Man Homecoming, and his name, I think, was Clev, and he actually was talking to Spider-Man, was like, "Hey, you're a Spider guy from YouTube, right? Okay, Spider-Man, do a flip." And I actually love that part. Love that he came back in another Marvel film. Coming back, I mean, it's the same guy. It's not like it's a different person. But just seeing him adding some humor to the film was great as well. And then, yeah, the whole bus fight was great. You know, Jackie Chan moves there. The sister fight scene when you see Zhai Ling for the first time, I think was great. You know, I think it's pretty much the same moves as I said before. Nothing. I think the only Matrix fight was in the beginning. Was like the way they... Ow, my neck. But I think the only thing that they incorporated from the Matrix was that first fight scene with the parents. But other than that, I think the rest of it was trying to incorporate Jackie Chan and Asian martial arts moves, which I definitely have no issue with. I think it's just I'm trying to mention the specifics there. And I love the sister fight scene. I love the when he's just like, wait, I'm trying to help you and break you out. I don't want to fight you. I just love that part, and they're like kept fighting with each other. And then seeing old characters and from previous Marvel movies, in particular Abomination from The Incredible Hulk in a new style. It was amazing to see him for a little bit, as well as we might see him in She-Hulk, the She-Hulk Disney Plus show coming out next year. Wong returned and got a bigger part than I kind of thought. Like, he was in a little bit of the film, and then he's in end credit scenes. There's 2 end credit scenes, so stay tuned. You want to stay till the movie, stay till the end of the movie. And yeah, by the way, there's spoilers in this movie. There's spoilers in this video. If you did not know that already, there's spoilers in this video. But yeah, I loved the Wong appearance. He's in the end credit scene. There's also 2 special characters in the end credit scene, so I'm gonna be spoiling stuff for like the rest of the video. So if you don't want to get spoiled for whatever happens in the end, there's big spoilers. So back out now. I should have mentioned that already, but yeah, I'll get to the end credit scenes later, because actually one of the notes I took down. But the family plot. The old characters. They also had a Black Widow from one of the widows from the Black Widow movie, and also one of the Extremis characters. If you don't remember the orange glowy guys from Iron Man 3, they actually had him in one of the fighting cages in the battling arena, which was crazy. I'm like, wait, that's one of those guys. That's amazing that they have him. They actually had one of those guys from Iron Man 3, but amazing. The family plot line was a great plot to have. I love how this incorporated, not just incorporated, but dealt with family as a pejorative. You know, it was one of the things in Black Widow that I talked about, but I feel like this was impactful as well to deal with. Okay, you lost your mother when you were very young, and then these kids ran away from their father, or mainly Shang-Chi ran away from his father, and then the sister went to look for Shang-Chi, but he wasn't there. And then they're separated, and then Shang-Chi goes to the sister and tries to find her, which he does, and then the dad ends up finding both children and was reunited with the children to find the dead mother. But the dad just has the voice in his head. So in a way, it's like, dude, like, you're hearing something. You're like, he's not crazy, but he's trying to find the mother, the voice in his head. And it's very symbolic. It's very, like, I would say traumatizing when you lose someone and you think you hear them, but then it's not actually them. So in general, the family plotline was very well done, and also the aunt kind of symbolizes, has some symbolism to her as well, when she's just showing Shang-Chi how to fight to take down Wenwu, or the Mandarin, the actual Mandarin slash Fu Manchu in the comics. It goes by different names in the comics. Wenwu, which is Shang-Chi's dad. But in general, I personally loved it. I think it was great. I think everybody I've talked to actually loves this plotline, like based off of family, or based around family, and all what have you. But in general, it's amazing. And right now, I'll mention this film. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. My friend actually ranked it like 6.5 on a Marvel scale and 9.5 as overall rating. And I'm like, what? I just give the movie one rating. I don't need to rank it as a Marvel film. And I know some people probably do that, but to me, I give it a 9.5. So I'm gonna go on to I'm gonna go on to the new character. Did I talk about Razor Fist? I don't think so. I thought Razor Fist was a nice character as well. He had some nice moments. I just loved his character, and then in the end, he actually helped out in the final battle. Katie was a great character as well. She actually helped shoot the big Mega Soul Sucker. So she actually helped shoot the big Mega Soul Sucker at the end, which was a nice touch. And yeah, so she got some heroic sacrifice, or not heroic. She got some heroic abilities in the final battle there. I just loved all of it. Another old character returning was Trevor Slattery, which was amazing to see. I figured he would be in the movie just based off of when we watched All Hail the King short on Disney Plus when that came out. I knew that had some factor to do with Shang-Chi, this movie in particular. But I was like 99.5% sure he would be in the movie. And he is. I just didn't know, like, oh, are they releasing this on Disney Plus for the movie? He's not going to be in the movie. Marvel could do crazy things and he might not be in the movie. But he was. And at the end of the All Hail the King short, they say the actual people responsible, like the actual, like, 10 rings are here to take you. And he's like, I don't know what that means. And, like, the actual guy responsible, like the actual Mandarin. He didn't say Mandarin, but the actual guy is here to take you. So I figured that had to lead into Shang-Chi, and yeah, he's in the movie, and also he has a character called Morris, who is a like Asian mythical creature, and there's also like mythical lions or something, kind of look like the lion from Narnia or something, kind of like a Narnia creature, but almost. But Morris was interesting. It had no face. I guess he's sensitive about that. But in general, I thought it was a really cute and strange creature at the same time. Also, forgot to mention, which we'll get to this kind of out of order, I think, in the movie, but regardless, the scaffolding fight scene, I love that one. I think that was also one of my favorite fight scenes as well. I think that incorporated some, like, just the way Shang-Chi was fighting with the poles and then fell onto the board and, like, flipped up the one, like, bad guy and just went up back and flipped him over. It was insane. It was crazy. I think I just love the choreography in this film. This is one I would just, like, rewatch the fight scenes over and over again than any other Marvel film. I don't know why. I just think the martial arts aspect relates to me so much, and I can't get enough of it. So I have to say that. So now we're kind of into the two last things, the final battle and aspect and the end credit scene. So final battle, the dragons. I love the Great Protector. I love seeing the Great Protector like fly through or like swim through kinda throughout the end. And I actually love the effects of the Great Protector. I think it looked beautiful. I think it looked gorgeous. It's kind of like a mythical Asian dragon in, like, you know, that fantasy you see. But the Mega Soul Sucker I have to talk about as well, because I think that it was very well detailed. I think they did well done job with the Mega Soul Sucker in the movie. You know, people complain, oh, it's CGI, it took you out of the movie. For me, it didn't. I was waiting until the point where something happened, because I watched spoil-free videos. And I was waiting until the point where I was like, okay, what's the big mess up that Marvel did on this? And I'm like, really, this is it? I was thinking it was the Great Protector, and I was like, really, this is it? Until the Mega Soul Sucker came out, and I was like, oh, this is obviously what people were talking about. But by the end, I think it wasn't half bad. I was trying to compare it to other things, and I'm like, okay, people can criticize Doctor Strange because there's a big CGI head. Now, I also go back to Black Panther because they had a weird CGI fight in the end there, but I think that Marvel did a win on this. I also have to mention that they're kind of Marvel's going in the direction of demonic things and the multiverse. So if you think about it in a way, at some point, like in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, even Spider-Man No Way Home possibly, and all this stuff, they're going to have bigger CGI effects. So, and even Eternals, like, that's going to be CGI as well. So what are you going to talk about? Oh, the CGI, oh, they did loads of CGI. This was terrible. They took me out of the movie. They did this. Critics come to hate, people come to hate, but I thought it really worked. I thought it worked. I thought Shang-Chi in the end was great. Battling that dragon. The two dragons had a little fight there. And I think it worked. I think Katie had a great heroic moment, shooting it in the throat. Then Shang-Chi taking it down with the rings. I love the final battle. I rewatched this one multiple times. I don't know what it is about it. Just love it. 9.5 out of 10. So that's what I have to say. Then getting on to the end credit scenes. Wong comes back, puts his portal around in the restaurant, and they're just like, what is happening? They go see Wong. They try to discuss, or they do discuss, where the Ten Rings originally came from. And they are been around for 10,000 years, or 1,000 years. And Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner are back. Bruce Banner's in human form, with a sling, that same sling that he had on after he did the snap. And yeah, Captain Marvel's like, it's nothing like Chitauri tech that I've seen before. And Bruce Banner's like, it's nothing than other, like, the Infinity Stone tech or other tech, vibranium tech that he's seen before. So it's like, where did these originate from? And we're thinking maybe it dates back to the Eternals. People, that's what my dad thought, and that's what I kind of read about. But based on the movie's timeline, it could not actually happen. Maybe it won't happen. We'll have to find out where these came from, dates back to. But I love that end credit scene. We also found out in the end credit scene that that in the second end post credit scene, that his Shang-Chi's sister turns out to be evil and creates, after Wenwu got his soul sucked out, that she takes over his throne. So we're going to see if she's evil, and Razor Fist and the guy who is the red-haired guy who is head of the battle arena from earlier in the film, are helping her out. And now she's just created a civilization and took over Wenwu's throne. So it's really unique, and I love the way that the movie ended. I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, I'll be the 10 ring. It said the 10 rings will return, and that's how the movie ends. And I just loved it. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. The hype was worth it. I could not believe it. I actually watched the red carpet event that Marvel did a couple weeks ago before this film came out. So I had been looking forward so much to this. The hype was real. I'm actually seeing this film again next week with my friends. This video came out the week after the movie's been out. So I always try to wait a week after the content has been out. But anyway, don't forget to hit that like button if you did enjoy this review. Let me know what your favorite part was of the movie, of this review. As always, don't forget to stay tuned for more TV and movie reviews on the channel. Let me know what you thought of the movie, of this review. Stay tuned for more videos and all that fun stuff. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share with your family and friends. And as always, don't forget to follow me over at Boba Fett Jedi Master on Instagram. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me, and don't forget to keep calm and play Lego. See you guys in the next review and video. Peace out. Bye, everyone.